Sid going, everybody. You guys have a real treat. The next comic has a couple of really hilarious comedy albums you can check out after his set. And he is a fixture of Austin comedy. Y'all, make as much noise as possible for Doug Mellor.
Yeah, keep it going for Derek, everybody. Make some noise. Oh man, I hate to start out this way, but I almost canceled tonight. I've had a terrible day. This sucks. And again, I'm sorry to start out with a bummer, but my grandma passed away this afternoon. Thank you. I appreciate it. So I almost canceled because, for the obvious reason, but then I thought about it and I was like, well, she would want me to do this show. I get my sense of humor from her, so I thought I'd do it. So here I am. So I thought I'd dedicate this first joke to her, if that's cool with you guys, because I love her a lot. Thank you. You guys are awesome already. Here we go. Has anybody here ever farted at the exact same time that your wife queefed? It's like, Jinx, you owe me a Coke, am I right? Oh man, she would have loved that. She actually would have hated that. Anyway, my grandma didn't die today. She died a long time ago. Yeah. Knife fight on a boat. She was crazy. You guys already don't trust me. This guy's full of shit. I was at a bar recently and I overheard a bunch of 80-year-old ladies talking about, having the most boring conversation ever. And they were having the best time though, God bless them. They were just having the time of their lives, cracking up. And the part I heard, they were talking about how on the 4th of July, it gets so hot here in Austin, which is not untrue, that you have to stay at your house. Don't go out. You got to stay and just water your grass all day so there's no fire, right? And they were just cracking up about that for some reason. And then hours later, the leader of their gang, Beatrice, I presume, she leaves. She exits the bar, and as she's walking out the door, she turns back and yells back to her friends across the bar. As she throws up a peace sign, she yells, "Stay wet!" Not realizing that the peace sign she threw up is also a vagina sign. As she's yelling, "Stay wet," the whole crowd, the whole bar just cracks up. They think we're in on their dumb joke, and we're like, no, this is way funnier what we hear. I just hope these old ladies keep this inside joke going forever. They thought the bar loved it so much, they get these, matching shirts that say, the Wet Lady Gang or whatever, One day, Beatrice passes away, and it's going to be sad, Probably already happened. This was a few weeks ago. She was really old. And, she passes away, and then the second in command has to talk at her funeral, and she's like, "Oh, this is very sad, but if there's one thing you need to know about Beatrice, it's that she stayed wet till the end, That casket is soaked. She is going to slide right into heaven." Her grandkids are like, "Oh, God, no." I complimented a woman on her pants the other day. I was like, "Hey, I love your pants." And then she looked me up and down as if to compliment something on my person. And then she just said, "Thank you." Fuck you, lady. It's pretty easy to lie. In her defense, I was only wearing Crocs. I had to give a urine sample recently. That's always fun. If you've never done it, what you do, you pee in a cup, and then you take the pee cup to a little metal window. You slide this metal door. You put the pee cup on this little metal windowsill. Slide the door back, and somebody on the other side slides it open, and then they drink it. I don't know what they do. And then there's all sorts of fetishes out there. We just gotta assume they're fucking weird. And it's not very fun, but here's a way you can make it fun. What you do, you just pretend, you slide the door open, then you pretend to slide it shut, but you don't. And then you just stand there with your face right in the door, and then they open the door and you're like, "Huh? You want to be best friends? Excuse me, Father, for I have sinned." Are you the piss wizard? There's a lot you could do. For whatever reason, for the last 6 months, whenever I take a shit in our home, I always play the song Release the Beast by the band Breakwater. Thank you, one person. And that way, it's just a funny way to let my wife know I'm taking a huge shit. Don't come near her. It's going to be bad for a while. And she cracks up every time I crack up. But a few weeks ago, I was at a bar, and that song came on randomly, and I shit my pants. Yeah. I call that whole experiment Pavlov's asshole. I was in a small town recently. I was in Bernie, Texas, and I was listening to their local radio, and the local radio had this segment where they had children, they had little kids, delivering the news, and that day the news was about these ducks that got in the road and caused a traffic jam. It was adorable, but it seems like that could go sideways real quickly, you know, just like. The suspect dismembered the body with an electric saw. The victim's skull and fingers were found in the oven. I gotta go potty. They should change that. That doesn't really have an ending. Guys, I think we should call deviled eggs satanic eggs. Let's quit fucking around. Just go for it. That is such a dumb name. What are you eating? The eggs of Satan. I have to do his bidding, but I must get some protein first. Guys, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Chef Boyardee's culinary school wasn't that difficult. I have eaten his canned pasta. It's not great. That guy was there on a football scholarship, for sure. They say that 1 out of every 18 people has a third nipple, and there are more than 18 people here. Let's see it. Let's fucking see it. All right, I'll show you. No. I think that if you're on a plane that has a pilot with a bowl cut, you should be able to exit that plane, no questions asked, and get your money back immediately. I saw what you did, not under duress. My wife and I recently got a bird feeder, and then we thought that'd be fun. That's a mutually beneficial thing for us and the birds. We get to watch cute birdies, and the birds get to be fed. And then we liked it so much, my wife got 2 more bird feeders, and I'm here to tell you, don't do that. Do not do it. The more food you give them, the more they fight. They're so aggressive. They get so territorial. It's just like Apocalypse Now in our front yard, but with birds. They're just like tiny little bird trenches everywhere. You always hear taps playing in the background, some bird just playing a tiny little bugle. It's crazy. There's just little birds on stretchers being hauled out. Blue jays being tortured for state secrets. Shallow grays, little tiny adorable shallow grays everywhere. It's crazy. I don't know. And they start to expect it. They expect the food after you do that. They want more. So we're just stocked up in our living room. It's just all bird seed. We look like crazy people when people come over, you know? And you'll wake up, you'll go out at 7 a.m. and there's thousands of rows of birds just tapping their little feet and pointing at their little bird watchers where you been, fucko? Another joke that doesn't have an ending, but... Guys, oh shit. Okay, what am I doing? Funerals are sad, but they don't have to be that sad. For $37, you can hire me to be a funeral clown. Just throwing that out there. I'll just do all sorts of, that's not gonna go anywhere. Anyway, trying something. Have you guys, I don't know what kind of porn you're into, but you ever seen cake farts? Anybody seen a cake fart video? There's a famous cake fart video with a girl that's this is a real genre of porn. Someone showed it to me. There's a woman that comes out and she's like, do you know what I like the most? And then she just says cake farts, and then she farts on a cake. It's real fun. And I was at a restaurant recently here in Austin, Texas, and I saw a woman, and I was like, I think that's the cake fart lady. And it looked like she was on a first date, and I so badly wanted to be like go up to the table and interrupt her, like, excuse me, I'm a huge fan. Of what? Like the guy's just like, oh, what? What do you do? Oh, nothing. He's just making a mistake. It's not nothing. And I'm like, oh, come on, you're just being humble. Will you please fart on my enchiladas? Damn it. Okay, I'll end on this. I have this whole song about the diarrhea song growing up, but I'm going to skip that. I don't even know what I'm saying. Anyway, I'll end on this. Guys, speaking of porn, this is a fun gag. Whenever I go to a restaurant that has a QR code where like you scan it for the menu, I play this prank every time. It's great. What you do, as soon as you get there, you call the waiter over and you're like, hey, I just scanned the QR code for the menu and the menu does not pop up. It is just hardcore porn. They panic every time. Last time I did this, they had a manager come over and the guy was about to cry, it felt like. And I was like, yeah, this is really messed up, man. He was like, look, I'll try it. And he scans it. And he's like, well, it's just the menu. That's what came up for me. I don't know what's going on. And I was like, okay, I'll try again. And I already had porn loaded in my phone. I fake scan it, and then I just turn it around. And I'm just like, I don't know what kind of establish does this, where you can just watch a donkey doing that to that man. And guys, I don't want to brag, but I get free never-ending breadsticks at Olive Garden for life now. So, guys, do you think butterflies have tattoos of annoying drunk women on the lowers of their backs? Oh my God. That's it for me. Give it up for Derek. Have a good night.
Doug Mellard, everybody. We having fun? Next comic we got in from Louisiana for the Liz Estrada Comedy Festival. She's a real treat. You guys are going to love her. Y'all show all the love to Jade Bronte.
Hello. All right, let's get into it. Let's get to know each other. Ladies, if I sit on a dick, I live there now. We're in a housing crisis. It's called squatters' rights. And I'll be taking